What are you guys doing?
Welcome to Ring the Bell. This is DS.
And the Sriracha Muchacha, Paloma Star.
And I'm Joey, the plate-slinging some bitch of the South.
We were trying to recreate that amazing battle of the chairs.
Amazing?
Loose.
It's about as lightly as they were swinging those chairs.
We're gonna go into it.
Jumping ahead of ourselves.
Let's start from Clash of Champions.
Oh.
So we have 3 matches, which was really cool.
Back in the day when pay-per-views had one women's match.
Or
Look at us now.
Yeah.
Look at us now.
Yay.
Starting from SmackDown Women's Championship.
Charlotte whooped that ass.
I actually really enjoyed this match. While I think a lot of people didn't or weren't expecting it at all, I think that's exactly what you needed to progress the storyline.
I'm only confused on why she sprinted to the back.
So my favorite thing that I saw on Twitter that I had to send to you guys right away was when Bayley responded to a fan because she left her straightener on in the bag, which I thought was an amazing response. I died when I saw that.
My favorite has been all like, "This is your dad." Like,
Yeah, Maury.
Maury is so funny.
You are not the father.
I really loved when Charlotte started with like that hard big boot.
Yeah.
Because she missed that big boot on Raw.
Yeah,
By a
she
mile.
made sure she didn't miss this one.
She was really hitting it over and over again. Bayley doing that
Turnbuckle.
the turnbuckle cover.
Sneaky.
Very, very.
Showing that little heel tendency, and I'm digging it. I like it a lot.
I think she, like, logically, maybe she ran into the back in case that the ref saw her, like, it would be too late to, like, say, like, no, you cheated, and be like, no, rather just run out. If they don't see me, it didn't happen, or something like that.
It seems like the direction is that WWE is really building Bayley as the official weak link of
The
Four
Four
Horsewomen.
Yeah, no lie, a little bit. She kind of is.
Also, I think Charlotte taking a loss didn't diminish her by any means because she was so strong at the beginning and, like, really laying it in. That kind of, like, the only way Bayley beat her was, like, by cheating. So.
Out of desperation.
Yeah,
So, like,
exactly.
it
That's a
works.
good one.
Yeah.
That's
And I also love that she kept her heel character or like arrogant character where she made the referee like do that rope thing, you know? Great storyline progression.
And I like Charlotte's new gear setup that she had.
That was cute.
Yeah,
It was very China, and I dug it.
We have a Bliss and Cross versus Fire and Desire.
The pigtails are back.
Let's talk about the looks.
Yes.
I loved Alexa's look. I love the dark makeup and the pigtails. I definitely missed the pigtails. Very good pay-per-view look.
And even Nikki Cross didn't change up her look that much. It was working as a team really well with Alexa Bliss, so I love that. But the looks division, Mandy Rose, she knows. After killing Nikki ugly, she better serve the look. And
she did.
she totally did.
It was a look.
Kind of a little Carmella. You didn't like it?
Nope, I didn't like it.
I loved it.
I loved it.
I didn't like it. It seemed very like Xenon Girl of the 21st Century kind of vibe look to me. Not like it was bad. It just wasn't like, oh, I think she's serving.
She was so serving.
Me
I was
too.
living for it. I was like, if I ever get a wrestling gear, it will be that fabric.
It would be latex.
Yeah, it would be latex.
Not a
it would
lot
be
of people
glossy.
can pull off latex, so there you go.
Especially me, because I sweat a lot, so it'll be just drenching.
Mandy does a lot of either like tanning or spray tan, so that color to me made me think she looked a little bit orange. Whereas when she wears like her gold or her oranges or kind of like that deeper red kind of thing, really brings her out of it.
I also remember you having issues with Sonya.
Sonya. Girl, you know what? I'm not the most kept person in the world. I'll admit that right now. But you walked out on that pay-per-view like you was about to be one of the fourth Sanderson sister. Like, her gear and everything was fine, but the hair, the makeup, I was like, girl, did you just get out of the Uber with your cat? Like, what just happened?
Was her whole thing is like put your hair up and square up, so she just like put it up real quick in a messy bun thing.
I think that's the way that she's going. Like, she's intentionally making little...
That's fine,
You
but
know.
put your hair up and square up because when it's down, I wear a frown. It's kind of like...
I liked it when it was like a little more higher up.
Yeah, I liked it too when it was higher up, or maybe like make a bigger point of like securing it more, so it's not just like a floppy bun.
Okay, but this match, we have to talk about this match.
Right? We spent way time on the looks and then the match, but
That's what the build did.
yeah, totally.
Is this a wrestling channel with gay people?
I mean, Nikki Cross right out the gate had that thrusting spot, which I really liked.
Yeah.
Like the only thing that really stuck out for me as far as memory was I believe Sonya and Mandy had the win for a second after that finish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This match had really great spots. The first time was when Alexa almost pinned 24/7 champion.
Yeah.
Oh, how did I completely forget about that? Probably because I tried to block it out because it took away from the match.
Eventually, I kind of liked it because I thought that's going to kill the match, the people's interest in it. But I think match really picked up after that. So I was actually fine with it.
For me, it was a really good, interesting, and different cutoff. Not to go into too much details of the psychology of a match, but most matches have a cutoff where the momentum then switches to the other person or team. So I think that was a really good creative, haven't really seen before. I could see why you would say it would diminish and take away from the focus on the women. But I think it kind of makes sense since Alexa Bliss had that whole bit backstage with R-Truth and Carmella with the boom mic kept on hitting her. So I kind of be like, oh, so kind of like R-Truth wants to get back to her. And it would be awesome if we saw Alexa Bliss win the 24/7 title in the middle of a match. Yeah. That would be insane.
I can't think of one spot that was like athletically, like that was like amazing, that stands out to me. But overall, this match turned out to be really entertaining with great spots. Finisher spot from Mandy and Sonya, that was awesome.
Such a good finish. I love it.
Because it looks devastating.
Yeah.
Like, it really does look devastating, so I enjoy that. But I think the stand of this match was Nikki Cross. She's the one that kept my attention.
For sure.
She had some really good intensity, some really good in her character work, so I enjoyed Nikki Cross
And she had the crowd behind her,
She
too,
did.
which was
Absolutely.
She does a really good job of working the crowd when she's in the corner when her other partner is in.
Even like the last save, great timing.
Great timing.
I'm glad that Nikki got that great finisher in at the end. I'm super happy about Nikki getting that spotlight. Now, Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch.
Ooh.
That was a match that we all gagged. It started off pretty slow.
Yeah, I think it had to because it built.
Yeah.
Like it just went places.
Sometimes when matches start slow, the crowd kind of gets lost in the middle. But then these crowd was so into both of them. They were going crazy. It just escalated over the submission moves. Disarmer and Bank Statement, that was like the center of this match.
And I like that because I think that brings value to each other's finishers as opposed to like hitting it like all the time or people kicking out of it. And the transition into each move, perfect. You don't see that a lot from women's wrestling, so I think it's really cool that it's coming to the forefront of it. But those transitions between those two moves, I was like, what? That's awesome. Like, who came up with this? This is super creative. Like, ways that I never even thought were possible.
Sasha's kind of the queen of that. Like, getting into her finishers so many different ways. Like, Becky's got a few that I've seen, and she keeps pulling out new ones. But Sasha Banks does it on, like, Raw. She does it on every show she's on. She gets into that.
What I learned in wrestling school is a good finisher is a finisher you could get into from any position and to give to anybody. Because you don't want to have a move where, like, if you're wrestling somebody bigger or stronger or taller, like, oh, I can't give you my finisher because I can't pick you up. So, like, a good finisher is something you could hit out of nowhere, hit any position, and hit anybody with. And I think their two finishers are definitely that.
You can see that Sasha Banks took her time to train in Japan.
Yeah.
You can really see that she soaked it all in, and you can see that timing is on. She's so smooth. Her passion is all renewed, and she was there to show it.
I especially enjoyed the afterwards of the match, the creativity of using the whole arena of like putting their body parts through the stair rails and then going onto the concession stand and going all out.
Can I say, because they fined Becky like a bunch of money for hitting the ref, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of tired of that being a thing.
Especially, to be honest, that hitting the ref was terrible. It was like...
And he was out. He was dead.
He was dead for a while, and then he disappeared.
He died.
Where did he go?
He died. He was dusted. He was gone. He was just never seen from WWE.
It was seriously like... That was me hitting you harder than Becky hit the ref.
Yeah, I'm glad that spot happened with women because that never happens with women. The older referee spot we see from women's matches, like when they were like rolling over the referee, they're like, So I'm very happy about that. And I love that Sasha utilized that, I'll say like Eddie Guerrero's spot, kind of. It's kind of evolved Eddie Guerrero's spot.
It's just cheating.
I love when she used that on Charlotte and Dana Brooke a long time ago when she won her title for the first time.
The thing that got me when they called it an Eddie Guerrero spot is the Eddie Guerrero thing that we remember is him tossing the chair and then falling out. That's the Eddie Guerrero cheat spot.
Yeah.
Anything else is just cheating.
So I see that some people were upset that it was not a real finish. I don't have a problem with that.
I didn't have a problem with that either at all. There's no definite winner or definite loser, but I think it's just to, once again, kind of like the Bayley-Charlotte match, it forwards the storyline. You could get more matches out of it, and I think it really makes sense for them to do that than to have a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, and it showed enough spectacles in the match. It was money well spent.
Agreed.
$10.99, $9.99.
$9.99.
Money well spent. I was very enjoying it. I love that Becky was like, I'm the champion. Did you see that at the end? Yeah. You can only say bitch. That's the only thing.
How did Bree say bitch?
You bitch! Bitch!
Okay, let's move to Raw. We have a tag match between Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Bliss and Cross.
Oh, but why?
So before the match goes on, we had a pink crate segment.
I know, and everybody tweeted me about it. They're like, oh no, the pink crates are back. Because I legit said that as soon as I saw it. I'm like, why? No.
Yeah. I'm glad, though, that they finally addressed when Sasha basically pooped all over the women's
which
tag
I'm
championship.
glad.
I'm glad that they're not forgetting about it. When the match started, I love that there was some little nice touch from the entrance where Bayley, the inflatable man, doesn't just come up, but Bayley is like, cheer for me, and then they'll be like... And then I also love that Michael Cole doesn't do boss time anymore.
I think somebody called him out on it.
I think the internet did.
Like, he's bullied by the internet. Like, I can't say boss time anymore. But he's working it as like a character. He's like, I'm not happy about this anymore. Boss time.
Boss time.
Like, really sad.
It's boss time.
So when this match happened, especially after seeing that Chronicle, I was kind of scared for Alexa and Sasha to go in the ring together.
Oh, yeah.
And that kick.
That was almost like unnecessary, but I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. That's such a heel thing to do.
It's such a heel thing to do, but it's kind of like, girl, did you need to do that?
When I saw that, I gasped. I was like, oh! I loved it though. I loved every single minute of it. I was on the edge of my seat because I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. But also, other thing is that Alexa was showing some face moveset
Yeah,
here.
she sure was.
I mean, she really has to. She's kind of transitioned into a face at this point.
I think at this match, they're like officially face. So the front flip off the apron, that was kind of like a new thing from Alexa. I was like, oh, I've never seen that before from her. So it was really, it was really cool seeing her do those face moves. And we know that she has a lot of those moves that she wasn't able to do when she was heel.
Yeah, maybe she's finally going to be like, yo, I can wrestle.
Yeah,
you know?
prove me wrong.
And I could do flips because I used to be a gymnast.
Yeah, she has a lot of flippy stuff she could do, but she couldn't do. So I want to see all of it. Also, other thing that I really liked that was, I'm sure the WWE used it as a storyline really well, was that we all know that Alexa is kind of fragile over all the injury news. So they use 100% of that.
Because that's the second time they do it.
Yeah.
The whole like, oh, she's hurt and stuff.
But I believe it. This worked so well in making Nikki Cross into like an uber babyface.
Yeah. He has that fire, like that, like House of Fire coming in like,
Can we talk about how much I love her yell?
yeah!
I don't know why, but I was emotional watching this. Nikki Cross just killing it out there. Over like months after months, Nikki Cross wasn't doing that great. But now with this pay-per-view match and here, she was just, what's the term? She was like swimming like a fish that just met water. Like she was really killing it out there.
It's great. It's great to see her develop into her own, and she basically held her own towards the end of that match.
I'm kind of ready for them to kind of take like the psycho screams out of her music, because I don't think she's psychotic. She's just kind of wild.
I did like her when she was Insanity and she was psychotic when she would come out and like bite the ropes and just like go crazy on people and stuff. I really love that. She actually did a really, really good job of portraying that character.
Yeah. I mean, I eventually hope she goes in there because that was like such a great character. But right now, I'm like really loving her as a babyface, and WWE did a really good job building her as that. I have to talk about my favorite spot of this entire match when Nikki Cross put Sasha Banks into that ring skirt, and she was just stuck there for like, it was like tiny. She was like stuck there.
I think it was even acknowledged that she was like a limp, legit just stuck there for a while. She did look tiny. She looked completely engulfed by it.
After this match, we saw Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, both of them like running really awkwardly, like just kind of, like I don't know what's going on with
I don't know what was going on with that either.
That was the most awkward chair fight, so bad.
All right, now it's your turn to swing the chair, and now my turn to swing the chair.
Okay, now you go.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn.
Perfect.
I felt like it was a lightsaber thing, but terrible.
You're insulting Star Wars.
I know, totally. I'm sorry.
Their rivalry is always based on that reality, but it was just so fake. It was
and I was
like,
just giving them credit about being super intense.
Exactly.
And then they come out and do that. Like, ladies, don't be scared of hitting each other.
Do you think it was just because they couldn't swing it that hard?
I think it was too choreographed. I think
was
they're like,
too much,
like
yeah.
okay, I need to do this, and I need to do this. I think they were thinking about what was supposed to be next, as opposed to actually being in the moment and actually doing
Yeah.
it.
I mean, to be fair, those things have went bad for the men too. Like when it's those choreographed, like chair-on-chair battle things.
yeah. And then Charlotte came in.
Another weird run down the ramp. Like, I'm like, maybe it's because she's wearing heels, but I'm like, she wears heels all the time down the ramp. But it was all like, burp, burp,
And
burp, burp, burp.
remember her weird steps right before like kneeing Ronda Rousey at that WrestleMania segment? That came back because she was like. We got a backstage promo from both Becky and Sasha, which that part was pretty good. You know,
It's alright.
Becky delivered her lines, and they are going to be in Hell in a Cell.
No more swinging chairs, please.
No, yeah,
sticks.
we're like blocking each weapon. Like no more tables, no more chairs.
TLC is going to be a boring pay-per-view.
Let's briefly talk about Maria Kanellis.
I like it.
Trashy, but I like it.
It's trashy, but I like it.
I have this big thing about gender reveal parties that I absolutely hate.
Oh, me too. They're awful.
Come look to see what my baby's genitals are! Yay! Who started this trend needs to go in a hole and get covered up, because
My
that's
thing-
a terrible, terrible trend. Don't have gender reveal parties. But like you said, kind of trashy, but it kind of goes with whatever they're doing.
Oh, poor Ricochet.
I know.
Why poor Ricochet?
He just got thrown into that.
So Casey Catanzaro, Ricochet's girlfriend, responded to Maria, and she's like, "Make up your lies about my man again. I'll have to pay a visit to WWE." If this is making Casey Catanzaro not quit WWE, go for it, WWE.
Yeah,
Like that's a good plan. And Rusev returned.
Or is Lana not going to be a thing?
Well-
Is he the dad? I'm so confused. about
Lana's
that.
busy writing to TMZ.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm like, is she really? Because that sounds like something she would do.
It does.
I don't know how anyone's gonna come out of the storyline looking great, but we'll
This
see.
kind of reminds me of that old storyline of who's Vince McMahon's son. Like that.
Oh, yeah.
We all know how that ended.
Let's talk about Lacey Evans versus Dana Brooke.
This was actually a very mid-card field match, which actually you don't see a lot from women, because I feel like there's only like women used to be like one match, one storyline going at the same time. So while it was kind of like, I don't want to say subpar, but it's nice to see that there's different levels of the women's division finally, because that just means there's a lot of talent, there's going to be a lot of spots for everybody. So it's good to see a solid B+ match. It sounds like a
You're a
authority.
solid B+ player.
Meltzer of Ring the Bell.
Right?
What do we think about Dana Brooke's return match?
It's fine. Like, I don't think Dana's meant to be anything than what she is right now. Like, I don't see WWE pushing her any further. And yeah, that might piss some people off, but I don't see them actually doing it. I think she's gonna stay in this little area. Sure, someone could hand her the opportunity, but I don't know if she would, capitalize on it and win the crowd over.
It's just something's missing. I can't really put my finger on it or like point out what it is. She looks good. I feel like she definitely trimmed up quite a bit, and she's definitely toned. Her gear is cute, and she has some moves. Like, she could do a beautiful swanton, but it's just not something. It's not like
I think
clicking or coming together. I wanted it to be, but it's just something. It's not
It's
there
because
yet.
you don't know who she is. If I tell you to tell me who Lacey Evans is, she's the sassy Southern Belle. Asking you who Sasha Banks is, she's the boss. Becky Lynch is the man.
I mean-
But Dana Brooke is just Dana Brooke.
Dana Brooke had the chance to be something during the Money in the Bank time. Her character work around that time, I think, was interesting, and she had a storyline coming from that Ronda Rousey match. Like, people were paying attention to her. She had that, like, underdog character to her. It's just WWE seriously dropped the ball with all the women after that
they
Money in the
really
Bank
did.
match. Like,
They really
Naomi's gone, Dana Brooke's gone, everyone was gone. And then being a main event, it doesn't do anything.
I think her and Sarah Logan have wrestled like 7 times already on main
They
event.
did,
they
and
probably
they were
have.
like tag team now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm guessing that this match was supposed to be Dana's like return match, so she had to like show what she's got. If she was supposed to really impress in this match, I don't know if she did that completely. But Lacey Evans, she continues to impress.
She's just not winning the crowd. I think that's the biggest thing, because the crowd was very quiet for that
They
match,
were,
and they got,
really...
I think, like a little bit of the rude chants. You know,
I think she's continuing to show like great moveset, great intensity. Her character work is on point, and sharpshooter.
I think the sharpshooter might have looked better just because she has longer legs, and me being a short leg person, I could totally relate to that. But I think that's a lot of people are like, oh, it looked better than Natalya, but really it's just because she's taller and has longer legs. But I do agree with you though that she has a really good solid moveset, and she knows what she can do. Oh yeah, the leg sweep was super cool and creative way to get out of it. But I think Lacey Evans knows what her strengths are, and she plays up to them and kind of like almost hides her weaknesses. So I really want Dana Brooke to be good. I really do. Hopefully something kicks her in the butt.
Let's move to SmackDown. So we had a little backstage interview with Sasha and Bayley. She was more reserved and like aggressive before. I think she got rid of that.
Yeah, now she's just straight up sassy and in your face.
and I like that. That's the Sasha I want. It's the Sasha I crave.
Her hair matched the background.
Maybe that's a sign for SmackDown.
Right.
And Bayley kind of sounds like a manager.
Yeah, good
she
point.
does.
She did sound like a manager.
Honestly, she might as well be. Her gimmick for God knows how long has been Sasha's best friend.
So this match, Sasha versus Charlotte, is a huge match.
I was surprised that I was on SmackDown. I was like, oh, this is what we're doing now? But it was good. And I feel like ever since Charlotte missed that big boot, she definitely makes it a point to lay that big boot in.
Charlotte completely dominated yet again. So WWE's clearly making her into like the stronger of the horsewomen.
I mean, she kind of is. She's bigger than a lot of the women. She's definitely more technical than a lot of the women.
That's true.
She's honestly a powerhouse, so it makes sense.
What are some of the highlight points? Definitely moonsault.
I don't know how she does that, man. It's so pretty every single time. Also, she was acting very face-ish, especially after she hit the moonsault. She's like, yeah, come on, play up to the crowd.
Yeah, you like Sasha?
Because heel versus heel matches are always weird, but I guess here, like, Charlotte's just like Charlotte, so whatever she is, it kind of worked, and it wasn't as awkward as other heel versus heel matches. But, I mean, I liked it. I think with having 4 horsewomen, you have a lot of moving parts and a lot of people that go against each other different ways. So
you know how like in Pokemon, fire, water, grass, there's like a little like 3-way cycle thing. Maybe if 4 horsewomen have that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then Bayley's the Pikachu that comes in on the 4th bit.
Bayley's a magic card.
It's the one that you're like, oh. It takes forever to evolve.
Actually, I wouldn't say that she's like a magic card, because that one's utterly useless. She's kind of like a Jigglypuff.
I love Jigglypuff.
I love Jigglypuff.
Yeah, everyone loves Jigglypuff.
She's so cute.
Bayley.
I also did like back in the match how Bayley went for the turnbuckle spot again. It was a nice little callback, and I like, oh.
Sasha she was booked really weak in this. It was interesting way of booking. I don't know where it's going. Obviously, they're building into 4 horsewomen storyline very soon. But what was very noteworthy was Carmella.
Out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
It really made no sense.
They were like,
I like that they acknowledge that Carmella and Bayley have a past together.
Yeah.
I like that little interaction between Bayley and Carmella, because Bayley, she was talking about how she's doing this for SmackDown Women's Division. She wants to face people like Zelina, Carmella. So Bayley looked like, why are you doing this to me, Carmella? Like, I'm just doing this so I can have a match with you.
Yeah.
I really wanted that little interaction. I hope they make it into full-blown story, because storylines shouldn't be just on Twitter.
Yeah.
It should be on TV.
Agreed. And a lot
Especially
of
because
it's
it's so
from Twitter.
predominant now.
I'm a little worried about, though, for next couple SmackDown, before they move to Fox, I think they're just gonna like throw it away.
Yeah.
I mean, the last NXT did have like Shayna and Rhea, but it was kind of like, oh, well, we're just gonna scrap this and we're gonna start fresh when we go live.
Yeah, that's always a vibe right before draft. It's like everything will be shifted, so like we're just gonna do this, but like it's not gonna last. But I'm very happy that Carmella's in the mix, because you know she's been kind of
MIA, too busy with our truth. Like I said, like there is a lot of moving parts when it's 4 of them, but you know, throw Carmella in the mix, you know, a little bit different variety besides the 4 horsewomen having to wrestle each other or some sort of variation within themselves.
WrestleMania build between Ronda, Becky, Charlotte. We did see some people inserted into it, like Nia Jax was inserted into it, which made it a little spice, little sriracha. So so I do want to see some other people being involved to kind of expand the storyline.
Yeah, I agree with it. And maybe why not throw in some Zelina Vega there? Like, hello, she's a wrestler. Use her.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I mean, she's a great manager, and I really like the way they're using her as a manager. Yeah. But I would love to see her wrestle.
Thank you so much for watching this week's review. As announced on the news and rumor video, we will be be reviewing NXT really soon with Joey.
With me!
Joey as a host of that show.
Yeah, and a co-host. Who's that going to be?
We're still looking for her.
We're still looking for her.
Co-host.
Can we do a diva search?
Oh my god, Diva Search! It would be a great team. We're coming up with some great new expansion of Ring the Bell family. Super excited for that. So that Wednesday night War review with AEW NXT will start, I think, next month. We need a little more time because NXT is starting this week. So I know that it is this week. We need a little time to get that team together. So just give us a couple more weeks to get that together.
It'll be worth it.
Exactly. So we'll have that Wednesday review team going for you.
Some NXT.
Love it. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Where can you find you, Joey?
Instagram and Twitter, Joey_Mayberry or Joey Mayberry on TikTok.
How about you, Paloma?
Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Paloma Star, but you can find me in person September 21st, Saturday in Berwyn, where I'll be facing Queen Bee Brooke at Berwyn Championship Wrestling. Come see me wrestle. I'm undefeated and I plan to stay that way. Just saying.
And you can find me at DS Shin and Ring the Bell DS on Twitter. Bye!